Good morning, boys and girls. How are you today? I hope each and every superstar is doing great. Happy Thursday. So, boys and girls, on Monday, May 25th, I have my little calendar with me, right? That will be here, Monday, May 25 or 25th. We celebrate an American holiday. Does anyone know what that American holiday is called? It's called Memorial Day. And boys and girls, Memorial Day is a day where we remember all the men and women that died and served in the military and helped us to get our freedom, right? So we remember all of those brave men and women. And a lot of us on Memorial Day, boys and girls, celebrate maybe by having a barbecue if the weather's nice. Sometimes there's Memorial Day parades, right? Maybe you can color a flag and just think about all those brave men and women on Memorial Day. Okay, it's a special American holiday. And because we're almost there, there's no school on Monday. I wanted to read this special book called America by the Numbers, One Nation by Devin Cillian. Look how beautiful, boys and girls. What flag is this? Who knows what flag this is? Yes, it's the American flag, right? Okay, so let's begin. A number of things are on my mind. They're each red, white, and blue. You count on me, America, and today I'm counting on you. One nation under God with liberty and justice for all. Boys and girls, what were they just saying? Who remembers what that's called? That is the Pledge of Allegiance. Remember who used to be the pledge leader would say it with the whole class? So why don't we try it now? We raise our right hand, right? And we put it over our hearts. And then we say, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. Good job, boys and girls. Excellent. Okay, so let's move on with the story in the book. And it says, let me just move this back so you can see. One of each, just like your shoes. America sometimes comes in twos. Two for South, two for North, Carolinas and Dakotas, back and forth. Two big neighbors stuck like glue. Mexico one and Canada two. So you see, boys and girls, here's the map of our country, the United States of America. So let's see what it says here on the side. It says North Carolina and South Carolina are in the southeastern United States. North Dakota and South Dakota are in the northern United States. The United States, Mexico, and Canada are the three nations that make up the continent North America. So boys and girls, if we look at our map, remember, we said that one of the continents, like the book said, is North America. Right over here, this whole thing. And what makes up North America? Three countries. Canada, which is north of the United States of America, and below the United States of America is Mexico. So Canada, USA, and Mexico. Those three countries make up North America. Great job. Okay, let's move on to 3. I counted 3 just like that. I count the corners on my hat. A 3-cornered hat from a Boston store, one just like the Minutemen wore. Or count the ships. There's an idea, the Niña, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria. Boys and girls, do you remember those 3 ships and who led them? Does anyone remember the name of the man that led those 3 ships? His name was Christopher Columbus. Good. And just so you know, boys and girls, Minutemen were soldiers. That's what it was. Okay, so look at this beautiful, beautiful monument. This is called Mount Rushmore. A massive way to count to 4, the 4 great men on Mount Rushmore. We'll start with George Washington. 1, Jefferson. 2, we're halfway done, Roosevelt. 3, and just one more, Abraham Lincoln. So cool, boys and girls. Maybe one day you'll get to see Mount Rushmore. Okay. To count to 5, it merely takes a trip along the 5 Great Lakes. Superior deep and Michigan blue, Huron leads to other 2. Ontario answers when Erie calls over the roar of Niagara Falls. Look at this beautiful picture, boys and girls. What season do you think that picture's in? Fall, right? To count to 6, you need to stand as far northeast as you can. The New England states are perfect picks. Count them all and you'll find 6. And maple syrup from trees so tall, they paint New England every fall. Look at how cool, boys and girls. What do you think these men are? What do you think they do? What do they look like? Astronauts, right? They go into space. So let's see what it says. It says, we look to the sky, we look toward heaven and count our way through the Mercury 7. 7 pioneers, 7 brave men. Carpenter, Cooper, Grissom, and Glenn. Skira, Shepherd, and Slane each knew that our future lay beyond the blue. So let's see a fun fact. It says from this group of astronauts right here, boys and girls, Alan Shepard was chosen to be the first American to fly into space. Cool. Okay, and now we're at the number 8, right? On to 8 and even better. We'll take our number and add a letter. Montana, Massachusetts, and Maryland too. Missouri, Mississippi, and Minnesota will do. Add Michigan and Maine. Isn't that great? The M states help us count to 8. So boys and girls, I'm going to go down from 1 to 8 and we'll say the states, okay? Let's start with M. So we have Montana, Massachusetts, Maryland, number 4 is Missouri, number 5 is Mississippi, number 6 is Minnesota, number 7 Michigan, and number 8 Maine. Our states, our 8 states that start with the letter M. Okay, boys and girls, what sport are they playing here? Is that football, boys and girls? No, that's baseball. Out on a diamond in a summertime shine, a baseball team will give us 9. A game that's filled with American pride. It takes 9 players to play for each side. Or let's find 9 of a different sort, the number of judges on our Supreme Court. So boys and girls, if you want to know the different positions for the sport of baseball, okay, we have a baseball team needs 3 outfielders, 4 infielders, a pitcher, and a catcher. Baseball is played all over America from Little League parks to the World Series that is held every October. Boys and girls, maybe when you get a little older, you'll like to play baseball. Okay. To count to 10, just set your sights on what we call the Bill of Rights. Our founding fathers thought to leave a list of all that we believe. 10 amendments making clear the rights and freedoms we hold dear. This looks like a fun picture, boys and girls. Okay. 1 more than 10, 4 more than 7. We just head south to find 11. The Dixie States, the land of peaches, country hams, and southern beaches. Growing peanuts by the ton, 11 states in the Dixie sun. Look at some of those yummy things in the picture, boys and girls. And the beautiful beach we have. What number is this? 1 and 2, 12, right? Your mom, your brother, your uncle, your cousin, we all buy lots of things by the dozen. A dozen is 12 for sale in a store. Donuts and eggs and roses and more. Remember, as you stand at the grocery shelves, when you buy the dozen, you're buying in 12s. See, boys and girls, so we have a dozen eggs, which means there are 12 eggs in there in the carton. And here we have a dozen donuts. 12 donuts in the box. Cool. It says we use 12 in many different ways in everyday life. There are a dozen inches in a foot and 3 dozen inches in a yard. There are 2 dozen hours in a day and a dozen months in a year. That's correct, boys and girls. We have 12 months in a year. Okay, let's move on. So boys and girls, who knows what this number is? 13. 13 stripes in white and red on the American flag overhead. Why 13? It just makes sense, for each bright stripe represents one of the proud original few. From 13 states, our nation grew. See what it says here. There are 13 stripes on the American flag, 7 red and 6 white. Betsy Ross is believed to have sewn the first American flag in 1776. Okay, our next number is 14, boys and girls. Okay, so everyone knows of the first 13, but think of what came later, a brand new state, the first of many to make our nation greater. You'll find 14 on Lake Champlain beyond a beautiful ridge. In a white birch forest by a country church beside a covered bridge. 37 times we added a state, each cause for celebration. So let's salute lovely Vermont, the 14th state in the nation. And the number that comes after 14, boys and girls, is 15. For 15 years, just want to make sure you can see, boys and girls, sorry. For 15 years, they drew up their plans, constructed her torch, and polished her hands. They built her, then broke her, then placed her in crates, and shipped her from France to the United States. It took 15 years, but she stands there today, Our Lady of Liberty lighting the way. Boys and girls, maybe you have gone to visit the Statue of Liberty. Let's see what it says. It says, the Statue of Liberty was a gift from the people of France, where it was designed and created. It was then broken down into 350 pieces, and in 1885, it was shipped to the United States in 214 crates. Like a giant puzzle, it arrived in New York and was put back together. That's a cool fun fact to know. Who remembers who this is, boys and girls? We learned about him in February. He was a president. He was the 16th president. Does anyone remember his name? His name was Abraham Lincoln. So, to count to 20, I hope you're thinking of Honest Abe, Abraham Lincoln. Long ago in the Civil War, the number 20 was called a score. The Gettysburg Address began just so 87 years ago. And boys and girls, this was his famous hat that he always wore on his head. Okay, then we turn to, wow, we jumped, boys and girls. Look at that, we went to 50, and that's 50, boys and girls, 50. Isn't it something, isn't it nifty that the states add up to exactly 50? As our nation grew, we had to wait. It seemed we were stuck on 48. Alaska and Hawaii, one large and one small, made 50 United States in all. And boys and girls, what state do we live in? We live in the state of New York, right? Right over here. This is New York, right? Again, boys and girls, this is the United States of America, which is our country, and it's made up of 50 states, but the state that we live in is New York. Ooh, cool, boys and girls. Money. Look at that. What number is this, boys and girls? It's a big number. That's 100. 100. Okay, it says, to reach 100, here's the U.S. Senate with 100 men and women in it. A pair from each state, and of course you knew that makes 150 times 2. If that doesn't remind you, Ben Franklin will. He's on the $100 bill. On and on we could count all day and count each person in the USA. For that's what counts the most, you know, the people who make our country go. The United States, the land of the free, I've counted on you, and you can count on me. Let's see what it says here. It says, the United States Congress makes the laws of the United States. Remember, boys and girls, we spoke about laws, and we say those are like rules, right? Congress is divided into two parts, the Senate and the House of Representatives. Ben Franklin was born in 1706, and he was a scientist, an inventor, a philosopher, and one of America's greatest citizens. Pictured on the back of the $100 bill, you'll find Independence Hall where Ben Franklin worked for American independence. So boys and girls, this is Ben Franklin, and he is on the $100 bill. Maybe if mommies and daddies have $100 bills at home, you can take a look at it. And that's the end, boys and girls, of America by the Numbers, One Nation. Okay, so have a wonderful day, boys and girls, okay? I will see you tomorrow on Zoom. I'm excited to learn about where your cultural backgrounds are from, right? I'll tell you about mine too tomorrow. And let's see what you bring to class. That'll be exciting, okay? I love you all. Have a great Thursday. Bye.